Well, I've got back a good friend of mine, Reginald Dwight. He's a pro cyclist and a pro chef. I really enjoy talking to him. We're gonna get an update on his latest cycling adventure. You ever thought you got two first names, Reginald Dwight?
Yeah, a lot of people bring that up to me.
Do you have a middle name?
No, I don't, sir.
None? Just two names?
Just two names.
Is that right?
Reginald Dwight.
So, was you cycling this? Did you cycle in Hincapie?
Yes, I was. And that was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
That's
what they used to call the three-state, three-mountain ride, right?
Right, the three-state, three-mountain ride, which Sequatchie County, that ride took over that. So that three-mountain race, when they advertise it,
yeah,
it doesn't say the three-state, three-mountain, but that is the race that took it over that they have in Sequatchie County later on.
So it's really the same, is it the same route pretty much?
Almost the same route, except for they took out the Dade County area routes because there was some issues with that.
Is
it
still the three mountains?
It is still three mountains.
You still have to go up Burkhalter?
No, but you still have the roads like Highway 111, Walnut Ridge, and those roads like that. You know, it's a crazy climb. It's a crazy cycling ride.
Was it 104 miles?
Just a little bit over that. Yes, exactly.
Golly.
Right about that. Right about that. And but I mean, it's a good ride itself.
Did you do okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I haven't done one this upcoming year, but it will be coming up. It will be coming up this September.
Oh.
I'm sorry. This October. October. The Hincapie ride is the one going over Suck Creek Mountain in that area. Over the signal and things. So that's this one where, you know, the famous cyclist George Hincapie.
Yeah.
Partnered with
one
of Lance Armstrong's partners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw you some of your videos when you were.
On the courthouse square at 30 2nd Street is the law firm of Logan Thompson Law. Since 1965, they have served the legal needs for the good citizens of Cleveland-Bradley County. If you've got a problem, they're no problem. Give them a call.
So you came in pretty good?
I came in 59.
59?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. A lot of...
Was there like 600 people?
No, it was more than almost 1,200 riders.
You came in 59th?
59th.
In the 104 mile?
But yeah, and in that race, being that it's so grueling, you know, when you get going and you know, you think that, oh man, you might bog out, oh man, you might get tired or whatever. But if you trained up, fitted up, keep your mind focused, keep your head in the game, you know, you'll do good. And I was pleased with my accomplishments.
Well, that's going quick. Mm-hmm. What was that, about 7 hours maybe?
No, that was like 5.65, 5.25, I'm sorry.
And you're a big guy. You're not the normal cycling size.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I'm not the normal cycling size. I'm working on some different areas, more leg training, more legs all the way through.
You mean like just muscle training?
Muscle training, calves.
You think that's better than just riding?
I think all of it works together, of course, and muscle training and riding works hand in hand. You know, you got to do both. You got to balance it out.
So if you just ride, it's going to be hard to beat a guy that's been working out his legs too.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. You got to have them calves.
You got it.
You got to have them legs. You got to have them calves from the bottom of your ankles all the way up.
Hip flexors.
Yeah, right there where your waist is. So I do calf exercise, legs, hamstrings, quadriceps, all that good stuff. Also yoga. I do yoga as well. Spinga, strength, yoga, and spinning off of Market Street. The great people to deal with, great people to go to. They got a studio there on Market Street. And I do, they do 30 minutes, 30. And it's, they used to do 20. And I think they will promote that again. But the new one is 30. And that's 30 minutes of spin, 30 minutes of cycling, 30 minutes of strength and yoga and stuff.
On that Hencappy, what was your thoughts? What did y'all like? Leave out at 7 or 8 or 7:30 or what?
Leave out 2 minutes before 8.
All right, so do you think, okay, here's my strategy, I'm gonna stay up front, or do you lag back and try to catch? What's your thinking?
Being that I've been a cyclist for some time, quite some time actually, my strategy in this particular race was a little bit different than I did at first. When you head out of Market Street, turn right and go down, when you head down MLK and turn right on Market, go down on your way over the Market Street Bridge, turn left on Cherokee, and you head up towards the Red Bank Tunnel. The strategy that I had this time versus last year, which I was actually out front last year, but the strategy I had this time was to pull over to more of the left on my way up to the Red Bank Tunnel, which I wouldn't be all crowded into that crowd, all that peloton, pretty much kind of pressure when you're trying to go up to the tunnel.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you actually don't have the pressure on the peloton nearby heading towards that direction because you're not actually in that pack of people. If you wide to the left, which I was, I got a chance to clear my mind and gain my thoughts and things like that.
Were you still getting advantage of the draft?
No, not so much the advantage of the draft, but I had a clear thoughts and more clear mind, and not so much practice.
I guess in the beginning, the first 30 minutes or so, or 45 minutes, the draft's not that important.
Right. I mean, you got to warm up. It's important that you warm up way ahead of time. You got to be riding at least an hour before the cycling starts. I mean, at least an hour and a half. Your legs, everything got to be warmed up. That's important.
That's where I make my mistake.
Right. Don't ever let no one tell you that you don't need to be warm, because you do. Because I've started too many races where I wasn't warmed up and also relaxed. And even, too, keep in mind rest is important to play in that, too. So, yes, my strategy was to move in that direction that way, and it actually helped out. Wasn't so tired going into the tunnel, the first tunnel, Red Bank Tunnel, then headed down the hill, turn left, and then head on towards over there where Baylor School is, the Baylor School area. You have Pineville Road, that's a big climb. You have Sucker Creek, that's a big climb. All those are big climbs. And you just got to have your mind in the game and just go at it full.
Do you think how many's ahead of them, or you're just riding your own race?
I think you want to just you want to ride your own race, but also stay up with everybody, especially for the first start of the race. You want to maintain some control, but not overly exert yourself and tire yourself out. That way, because what happens is you're bogged down. You don't want that to happen.
So on 104 miles, if you get very far behind, though, you can't catch up.
You can't catch up. No, you can't catch up. So you got to stay in there.
You got to stay with the front.
Yeah,
with the 59, when you came in 59th, were you always in like the top 60 or 70 or 100? Were you stayed in that? I guess in the group up front the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, that route it was difficult in itself anyway. And just remember, going back, I don't know if you remember that a couple of weeks ago on that Saturday, it was raining too. Mm-hmm. So that also adds to the detriment of a cycling race.
I don't like to ride. You got disc brakes?
Actually, honestly, on this particular bike, I had rim brakes, and I said to myself, the next race I ride, I have the disc brake. I have my disc brake bike. I don't know why I didn't pull my disc brake bike out, but I didn't.
Well, if it's raining, I can't stop with carbon wheels.
Yeah. I mean, you could, with rim brakes, you can stop, but when you bear down, you're gonna be bearing. And also keep this in mind too. It's important that you feather your brakes.
Yeah.
That's important.
Even when it's raining, because just get the water off.
Right, get the water off too, and also keep you from sliding. Well, let me back up. Not so much to keep you from sliding, keep you from bearing down so much and locking it up. Because if you pull in too much, it's gonna cause that wheel to stop up a little bit, and then you're gonna start to slide, and you don't want that to happen. Because I felt like my back end was starting to move a little bit, and I was like, hey, not today. And we had plenty of wrecks for the first 3 that I passed, and also flat tire. I said, this ain't gonna be me today, not me, because going down the hill was a long way down.
Oh yeah.
It was just that was
in the rain.
That was a tough race, yeah.
That's scary as death, wasn't it?
It is scary. It is. I mean, Big George, him and his son Enzo. Actually, George Hincapie and his son Enzo Hincapie. I would say Enzo Hincapie, his son, he won it. He's a great cyclist, and he's definitely got a long future ahead of him. He's got his great dad there.
Yeah.
So he's moving up, in that area of cycling, and I commend him on that. But yeah, the area of being scared and nervous with cycling, it can be there, because when you're going downhill and you got those little thin tires, you already know what it's going to be. It's going to be a bad situation possible.
Yeah.
So,
what would you say your top speed is downhill?
Top speed downhill. Actually, when I'm in Laguna Hills in Northridge in California, which my friends out there, I thank God for my friends, Serious Cycling Team, Serious Cycling Bike Shop, Scott the owner, I would say it's in that range of 55, 60 miles an hour. But that's because we know the hills.
Yeah.
You got to be familiar with the hills to be able to do that. So the speed definitely is up, most definitely when you're going downhill in that range.
I always worry about a squirrel running across the road.
Yeah, so that's actually happened. Not necessarily a squirrel. I've seen some wildlife running across the road. In one of the Hincapie events, they said it was a deer. That some people say it was a boar or something. I was like, it probably was a deer or something like that. But that was actually when we passed, and one of the riders almost got hit by that deer or whatever it was. But that was the time, and even in the video of that past cycling race, that was a sight to see right there. I'm glad I wasn't in that particular pack backwards.
We got this route that we go, and the guy that rides with me, he was riding, and his back wheel was about there, and my front wheel was about here, and the deer went, shoo,
Oh man!
right between us, just as. Didn't bother us. If you'd have closed your eyes, you'd have never seen it.
Right. That's one of them things. You just in a situation like that, you just let it go.
My top speed's 43.4.
That's good.
Which is not fast,
No,
but
that's good.
it's pretty fast. I mean, it's fast enough.
Oh yeah.
But I've got to be able to see the driveways and make sure a car's not coming. Because if I see a blind corner, I'm just going to slow down.
Right. When you know your confidence when you're within your own self and your abilities, that's first and foremost. And then you have your machine, that bike, and you got top quality stuff. I tell people, even at my Godfather's auto shop downtown, man, I got to have quality stuff, quality electrical parts, quality BMW parts. And I'm not promoting BMW, Mercedes, or whatever, but quality. So if you on your bike, I ride with Continental Continental 5000, GT 5000s, and Continental tires. Gator skin.
You think the Gators are better?
Actually, the Gators and the GT 5000 have a little difference. The one in the weight, one in how they grip.
Yeah.
One being that when you are training, the difference on the rider who wants to use the GT 5000 or the Continental, the Gator skins. Just depends on it's just a preference. They talk about the weight. So with me, I got a GT 5000 on my bike that I race. It performed real good. It didn't have no roll when you're leaning over.
The Gators are a little lumpy to me.
Yeah. But both of them work good. And then of course you got the Michelin tires out there that they advertise at the Hincapie races, and the Michelin tires are actually really, really good tires. I'll be honest with you. They really are.
Do you think that much weight is a really big difference? I guess it is after 40 miles or so.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We all can use a little reduction on weight. I know I can. So what I've been doing, weight reducing, but my strength is strong though, and that's very, very important with pulling hills and cycling. But yes, weight and the weight and all the differences as far as transfer and how things work geometrically, and how downhill, uphill things, it all makes a difference. So yeah, when you got that airflow going, you got airflow, the peloton, everybody working together, drafting, it's all a whole thing.
You would have averaged 20 miles an hour on that Hincapie, 104 miles.
Yeah.
Was that about right?
Somewhere in that area.
19.8 or 220 point. Boy, that's fast.
Going uphill.
Yeah.
Going uphill.
And the W road, all that.
Yeah. And going
You didn't
uphill,
have to get out and push?
No, I didn't get out and push. No. But see, here's the thing though.
Can you go up Bergholter without getting off?
Yes, I can. And here's the thing though. I'm glad you said that. Just like I'm gonna tell you another road. Just like Manning Road and Kent Street downtown Chattanooga.
Yeah.
It goes up like this right here. Mm-hmm. Okay, which was the three times they went. The three times the USA Cycling Pro. I'm sure you remember when they came to town back in 2013, like 13, 14. They went to Lookout Mountain 3 times, Kent Street 3 times, and over the Veterans Bridge.
In the same race?
Yeah. The women did it a little differently. But it took me over 3 years. And I tell people, it took me over 3 years to be able to go up Signal or Lookout straight with no stopping. 3 years.
Without getting off the bike?
Yes, you got to
Well,
work.
if you get off, you can't get back on.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get off, you can get back on. Of course.
Not going uphill.
Yes, you can. You can get off. You can go. Yeah, you can go. I mean, you can get back on your bike and go uphill. But see, it's also the momentum. Mm-hmm. You want to always keep the momentum going. So, you want to be able to, like I said, you got to be in the gym and working out and prepping.
You got to have strong legs
before you get into that.
Because when you go over those big hills, it's not lungs anymore. It's just legs.
Right. And it's also strategically, like you brought the word strategic. You got to have that strategic way of how you climb. You can't just go straight up. Now, if you want to go straight up, you can do that. I know many cyclists do, but you can't go side to side. When you do side to side, it also cuts out a little time. Trust me, it cuts out a little time on pulling the hill.
You think it does?
Oh yeah. If a pro cyclist can do it, if they can go from side left to right, right to left, left to right, if they do it, you can do it too.
It does take the steepness off a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it takes this, the stinging. When you have got your legs and your body warmed up enough, the sting will be there. But if your body and your legs are already into a memorized gearing of that actual. What is this? It's like muscle memory.
Muscle memory, yeah.
And they're used to that, then it won't be as hard. You know, but like I said, you got to be warmed up. You got to be ready to go. It's just all about preparation. Preparation is key.
And then when you get ready to go hit a hill, you get in a low gear or a high gear, or or it just depends on your feeling.
Depending on your feeling, you need to drop down about 2. Drop down to 2.
Just really spin.
Drop down to 2, and kind of between 3 and 2. Usually it's gonna be about 2, and adjust yourself. And kind of weave left. Left to right.
And you think that it's faster going that way than it is just going straight up?
I think if it depends on how much cadence. Cadence is also important. It depends on how you feel your body. If you want to bear it all and bust it up and keep rolling, that's fine. But it depends on the cyclist. You can, me, I'm gonna do left to right, left to right, left to right, and roll up that. As long as I'm not in nobody else's lane, and that's key. I'm still within my rights.
And then when you get there, you're gonna be.
When you get there, first of all, thank God that you got there.
Yeah. Well, that's the truth.
If it's a hill, and I'm gonna say Pineville Road, for example, when you get to the top, you'll definitely relax a little bit, but keep in mind on Pineville when you go down, it's a steep weight. It's a straight down. You know that road.
Oh yeah.
Straight down. It's like the road that has.
I've been to where my hands were just sore.
Yeah, I know.
Because your weight.
Yeah. Rim brakes. Rim brakes have their place in cycling because they do. They're more originated. They originate longer than actually disc brakes, but disc brakes is the way to go actually.
But disc brakes are about a half a pound.
Disc brakes, yeah, but guess what? Disc brakes are a lot better. They stop on a dime. But even the weight, you can get the most really expensive bikes, back. And you can get a really expensive bike and they have lighter weight parts on it.
I went down to, I guess it's Greensboro, South Carolina, and had that world-class bike fitter. I forget his name, Jim O'Brien, maybe?
I think I heard his name.
And he fitted me, because that was the most important thing that helped. Of course, I'm not a pro cyclist. I'm just 39 miles at about 16.8, something like that, maybe 17.
That's good. Some people can't do that.
If you're a cyclist,
that's real good.
But that's about what I can. That's about what I can do, and I can do 60 miles, okay.
Yeah.
And I can come in at 16.5, and that's up here in Charleston, which is not flat. I mean, it's some hills, but not nothing like Burkholder. We got one out here, Beeler Ridge Road. It's a booger, and 2 big dogs at the top, so it's just bad.
2 big dogs
at the top.
Actual dogs.
Yeah. So
look, you need to take me up there then. We need to go. We need to go up there.
I hadn't ridden in about a week and a half. Do you think, because I've been on this job that's real demanding, but I've got about another 2 weeks and I'll be able to get back? Because I normally ride 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. But, 29 to 49 to 44 miles, something like that, a time.
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you ride that much?
I don't ride that much a week, but I ride 2 and 3 times a week, and I also train a lot. So, but when I'm at the Spingle studios, then I get to do the weight training, the yoga, and the stretching and stuff like that. So it's always good.
So how do you keep your lungs where you can? Because sometimes that's when I start. My legs, my strength will keep going further than my lungs.
How I keep my lungs, eating right. Nutrition is so important, vital. Eating right. I don't smoke. Don't do a lot of drinking at all, of course. I go to the gym. I definitely in a steam bath and the sauna. Get a chance to breathe.
But 104 miles, you were breathing hard, right?
No. No, the breathing is moderate and controlled. when you on pulling and you climbing and stuff like that, yeah, you can breathe, but it depends on how much fitness you have gained within yourself. Of course, the breathing is going to increase, but it just depends on how fit you are.
So do you try to breathe through your mouth the whole time or a nose?
Try to breathe through my nose.
In and out?
In
or
and
just out?
No, in and out, more nose, a lot. When you get on the climbs, you got to adjust that. It's going to be breathing through your nose and out of your mouth.
You know, I've studied that. Have you ever listened to that Nestor guy that studies breathing? He says that athletes are supposed to breathe in and out through their nose and not through their mouth because it conditions the air.
Right.
And you actually get, but that's hard to, but a lot of people would argue they're supposed to breathe through everything you can. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts are y'all breathe through your nose. It helps you from getting tired as quick.
Me.
That's right.
Not,
Right. Of course, yeah. It helps you to keep from getting tired as quick.
but when you get really gassed out, the first thing you do is open your mouth and start taking in air, right?
Right. Exactly. But see, here's the thing. What I learned about not trying to be the first person over the totem pole right then. And what I mean is, when out the gate, you need to be able to keep some of your wind. You got to keep not just some, but a lot. Keep your strength and all that. You know, it kind of goes back to just like in boxing, Muhammad Ali. You remember? You know how good Muhammad Ali was, right? So for that example, he in himself, one of his strategies was he'll let people, you know, get them against the ropes and, you know, punch and throw punches, you know, and try to kind of
Get him gassed out.
Yeah, try to get him gassed out. Which that didn't get him gassed out. What his strategy was for his opponent to work more than him, and he was going to absorb the punches, but he was trying to get them gassed out by doing so much of that work.
Sort of like Nate Diaz does.
Right.
He does that.
Right. So what happened was, when you thought that Muhammad Ali was getting tired, he wasn't. Oh, trust me, when he came out, after you was done swinging and working him out, he was ready. That's when he was gonna give you the dope, the okie doke.
Yeah.
And that was it. This guy's been following, been throwing left and right and jabs and everything, because Muhammad Ali was so good to be able to absorb that. And that was the thing. He was good enough to be able to absorb that. Some people not. But he was, and his strategy came out on top by him winning a lot of times, because he used that against his opponents.
So you're saying out the gate, you just sort of keep the front group in your sights.
At Palatine, you keep the group in there. You definitely got to keep the group. You got, we want to stay within the group. That's the key. And also not try to be,
not get up there and pull like that.
Yeah.
Let somebody else pull, right?
Right. Not
because they're going to gas out.
Right. Possibly, but usually not. I mean, possibly, but usually not. Because if they're up front and they are pulling, they might not, as good as they are, they're not going to gas out. You got people benefiting from that drafting like that, so it's good. But, you don't want to always try to be the first person. Just
I never pull. I always stay back.
Yeah, it's reasons why that happens. And, you see also the reasons why the person from the back comes all the way from the back all the way to the front and wins. Yeah. Because that's the reason why.
That's right. He's staying fresh.
Yeah, he's staying fresh. As long as he's within 4 people, 5 people, 6, come on, think about it. You got a long way to go. You got
on those
miles
Tour de France's, when they get close to about 4 miles out, there'll be a guy about 8 or 10 back, and I'm always thinking, which one of those is going to win? Because one of them will.
Right.
Generally, they won't just stay ahead the whole way.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But what about crosswinds? Boy, they drive me crazy, don't they?
Crosswinds.
They bother me.
Crosswinds are rough. When you're in Dubai, when you're cycling in Dubai, which I haven't been in Dubai yet. I've been a lot of places. I've traveled a lot. I'm doing a lot. And I'm very fortunate to do that. But Dubai, I have not been there yet to cycle. But what they say, when you're cycling and that wind's coming across, we got sand, man, and that's hitting you too. That's rough.
Oh yeah, I've been where you get off your bike and you hold it up and it'll blow out. It'll blow.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Hey, speaking of Mike Tyson, you gonna watch that fight's what, next month with
Is
Jake
it?
Paul?
I think it is.
I saw where it wasn't gonna be pay-per-view. I think I don't know if that was a. Wonder if that's. I don't think that'll be fake. Do you?
I think it's all.
I can't see Mike Tyson faking that. I can't see him just faking it and they're going to lose. Mm-hmm. He ain't going to lose.
Mike Tyson, if Mike Tyson wants to take Jake Paul out, he can.
Well, if you see him in that photo when they're looking at each other, Jake Paul's got a big neck. He's about 6 inches taller than Mike.
Right.
But it doesn't matter, does it?
Right. Mike Tyson, and he might be his age, but he is good. And I come to realize, after watching his videos years ago and even recently, back in the day, Mike Tyson was fast.
Oh, fast.
People, I mean, look, when you look at that boxing match between him and I forgot the opposing fighter that he was against, I think, he hit him, he hit him with an uppercut and hit him underneath his chin. You remember that?
He hit him four times before he fell.
Who was that anyway?
It started with an L.
Who was that?
Lexington or Lennox or not Liston. He hit him 4 times. He was out. He was out on the first punch, and he hit him 3 more times before he hit the 4th.
I'm trying to think who that fighter was, but I remember that punch hitting him right here under his chin. That was
my cousin. We got about his third fight. Everybody was really getting into watching him because he was about 17 at the time. Mm-hmm. And my dad got pay-per-view, and my cousin came over, and this has been a joke with our family ever since then. Mm-hmm. My cousin said, "I'm going to go make a sandwich before the fight starts." Mm-hmm. They were just getting ready to say that.
I remember that.
And it was over. He missed the fight.
I remember that.
He just went to make. That was the 16 seconds.
I think that was Michael Spinks.
Michael Spinks.
Yes. Someone said the same thing. I think that was that time when they had a pay-per-view showing at UGC Arena. And they came on the news and somebody said that, I went out to get me a drink or whatever or something. And I went to the concession stand and came back and it was over.
But Mike Tyson, if you ever watch him on interviews and stuff, he's no dummy. He's smart.
Oh, yeah.
He's smart.
Mike Tyson's gotten better. He's gotten better through the years. He's gotten a lot better through the years.
Yeah, he is really smart. I mean, he's smart.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's gotten a lot better.
But I just wonder if, I just don't know what the rules are. I keep seeing all stuff on the internet where they're agreeing to the rules and stuff like that. So I don't know. Where did that Jake Paul come from? He just came from the internet, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm glad you meant that. I'm glad you mentioned that. I was just about to say, he's an internet entertainer.
I mean, he fought, who was it he fought last time? Jones? Was it Jones?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
It
John.
wasn't Nick.
It wasn't John.
It wasn't Nick Diaz. It was Nate Diaz, I think. I believe that if it's a real fight, Mike Tyson's going to win, no problem.
Right. I believe.
And I don't believe Mike Tyson's going to throw the fight just for a gimmick.
So right. So I'm glad you said that. So in your opinion, you think that way, okay? Now, what I believe is that it is a fight that is going to be money, a lot of money involved, of course. Somebody going to get paid. And it's hard for me right now to really accept those fights like that now. Because I also saw Jake Paul in advertising with the female, African-American female fighter. I think her name is Clarissa Shields, okay? Mm-hmm. I saw where that it was a post about that could be a possible fight or some interest in between them. And so, what I posted on Twitter, I was like, look, I'm about tired of this now.
Yeah.
Because
So
if we want to do all this like this, I'm not interested in no fights no more like that.
yeah, because he was going to fight her, or that was what they said.
Yeah, that's
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's you know, that's money. You know, that's a lot of money being involved. So it's yeah, I'm not too much interested.
Well, I'm looking forward to the fight. I think that I'm really a big fan of Mike Tyson.
Of course, yeah.
Personal life and everything, because
Right.
I've studied him, and he's really, I really like him.
Right, most definitely.
But cycling is really addictive, isn't it?
Mm-hmm, most definitely. Cycling is a part of my life. I like it. I used to do BMX when I was 13 and 17, and BMX at Montague Park. In Camp Jordan. I would go down to Atlanta, of course, do BMX there, go down to Florida, California. That's back in the BMX days, you know, when they had real BMX bikes,
real BMX
4,130 chromoly bikes that are real chrome, mongoose, real with monomag wheels on. That if you get a replica, if you get a real bike, someone that's got a real bike like that, probably it's going to be at least over $2,000. You know, and if it's got monomag wheels back from like the 70s, kind of like, they look like, you know, not the average straight up mag, five line mag wheels, but I'm talking about the ones that crisscross. Those are monomags. If it's one of the real ones, you're looking at least $2,500 to $3,000 just for a bike with all that on there. That's original.
When you ride like that 104 miles, do you stop at the swags or at the stops?
Yes, most definitely. Now you have the option. See, here's the deal: you have the option to stop, or you don't have to. The problem is, here's the thing: once you stop, and people going in front of you, that's it.
You can't never catch them.
Right. So the thing is, usually, if I'm up front and I'm with the group, you know, 9 times out of 10, someone's going to stop, but I don't stop no more than maybe like a few seconds or so. It's nothing like no.
Well, you stop and pee, or
it's nothing like
you have to pee in 5 hours?
Yes, but you already know what has to happen when you do that.
Yeah. So you don't. You take your food with you.
Yeah. I keep energy bars behind my back.
What kind do you take?
I have breakfast bars behind my back. I have gummy bars, of course. Breakfast bars on left or right. You know,
so gummy bars, you mean the energy gels?
Gummy
Do they make you nervous any?
No. You know, the good ones you get from the bike shop.
Yeah.
Are real good stuff. Those they work.
What about the goo?
The goo works too. You just gotta, you gotta take it a little bit at a time.
How come?
You gotta take a little bit of time because the bars, all of them have a different release time in it. So if you take it all at one time, then the effects of how it's structured to work may not work as planned. So
you ever take a goo before you start, or do you get in the race and then get needed?
No, I take goo before I start too. I take 2 or 3 goos before I start.
I take one goo and put it in my mouth before I start.
Exactly, that's good. I take 2 or 3 of them. Usually 2 of them.
Well, 2 for you is probably the same as about 1 for me. And then but those little gummies, now they'll keep me up. I'll take one before about an hour in, but then I'll be up still that night because they get you going.
Oh yeah, most definitely they work. It's important to take them as prescribed because, like I said, the release times are different. You want to have something in your stomach. You want to be, you want to be feeding your system when you're rolling.
Well, on that 100-mile ride, so you'd just take 2 bottled waters?
I got 2 bottled water. You need 2 bottled waters at all times. You need 2. You need 2 bottles. Okay. That water can be mixed with a substance.
What do you mix yours with?
It just depends on what I decide to use that particular race. It may be a prime. It may be something from the feed. It may be a nutrient. It may be IV, nutrient, water mix.
You mean like a Spark or something?
Right.
Basically, it's just high-powered Gatorade or something.
Yeah, it's basically a high-powered water, Gatorade, like you said.
Electrolytes and stuff.
I'm just about to say electrolytes that are in there. You know, you need electrolytes, of course.
But two bottles will do you that many miles?
Two bottles is important. It can, but always, anytime you stop, you get a chance to stop, and if there's a fueling area there where you can liquefy and fuel up, go ahead and fill that bottle up.
So that's all you stop is for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all you stop. You don't. I mean, this because the more you stop, the more you're behind. The thing is, if you can keep on going straight, that's fine. Keep on doing it.
What's your point to try to cycle?
I'm glad you mentioned that. So, I'm glad you mentioned that. My goal behind what I'm doing, because I want to achieve as much as I can, and the point I'm trying to get to as far as cycling is that cycling is a part of changing the world and life. If you like bikes, if you don't, teach his own. Cycling is a good form of exercise, good form of staying fit. My point of cycling is for people to understand that, you can release a lot on the bike. You can release a lot of tension. You can stay fit, exercise, up, motivated. Your endurance can be increased. Cycling is important, and my message to many that want to get to a higher level in cycling is just take it one day at a time, and enjoy cycling for what it is. And if you want to go higher, start doing more stuff. Start getting stronger. Start working out more. Getting interested in races and things like that. You can go from an everyday cyclist to, one that gets on the levee, goes to the walking bridges and just rides a mile or 2 or 3, and you can go to 5 miles, 10 miles, 15. You want to get into competition, that's fine. Now, for those that don't, if you want to just leisurely ride, that's cool too. Cycling has a part in the lives of many people. And for those that don't want to cycle, teach his own too as well. You can do your exercise and your exercise routine some other way. But cycling has a big part in my life. It has for many years, even when I was in BMX. I should have went pro when I was in BMX years. I didn't, but now I am. And I'm thankful to have the support and people that I race for, and my team, Supra cycling team in Greensville, South Carolina. And I actually used to race for KFC. I used to race for KFC, endorsed by KFC to race for them. And I know it's, hey, KFC, but you think, hey, fried chicken. But they actually have some teams, and it was great to be riding for them. The GMs and people who support me and like me. But, I'm happy to be with a racing team in Greensville, South Carolina. We got a great CEO, Deb Mill, and it's been beneficial. But many people have seen an interest in riding for other teams, like my friends out in California, Sirius Cycling, Scott and them, Laguna Hills and all the rest. They got bike shops elsewhere, but it's great teams, So, cycling's been good for me.
So you're thinking it's just more of an exercise thing, or is it? One thing about cycling is it helps you mentally, I think.
That's right.
And so your thoughts are that. Would you say that no matter what would your message be any kind of an exercise hobby is good, or is it encourage you to be a cycling hobby?
Any kind of exercise is good, but for me, cycling is at the very top level with myself. As much as I am in the past into basketballs. I boxed for years, so when I was in BMX for such a time, and I got out, I got into boxing and karate. Done that for a good period of time. You know, Massachusetts and Nixon and Skipper Fat Bank's boxing team over there in Red Bank and Joe Smith, Wild Camp. But other than that, I ended up getting back into cycling, getting to road cycling. And also, you know, and this, I hadn't mentioned this, I'm also into gravel as well. So, you know, gravel is a different aspect, you know, but, you know, road cycling is good, and I got into it, and it's been good for me.
So do you think it's good that person has a hobby that they have to, you know, if you just ride, you have to have a goal for it, or it's just no different than walking. I guess if you got up every morning and walked a mile, you'd have to be trying to walk more than 1 mile, right?
Yeah. Most definitely.
Well, let me ask you this. Is cycling, would you say it's your real job is a chef, though, right?
That's right.
Is that your bread and butter? So to say?
I'm glad you said that, because I knew that was coming out, the bread and butter. Not that you was going to ask those questions, but I knew that next word was going to come out. Yeah. So I'm happy to be a chef. I've been a chef a long time. I thank God for the talent.
How long have you been a chef?
I've been a chef almost 30 years. You know, I went to culinary school, Art Institute of Atlanta, Georgia. Done very, very good when I was there. Came out. Well, actually, while I was there, I was working at Ruth Chris Steakhouse in Atlanta, Georgia, and also Tom Tom's in Buckhead Mall. Both of them right there in the JW Marriott. I'm sorry, not JW Marriott, but the JW. I'm sorry, let me back up. The Lenox Mall there. So that area, that location was always great for me. You know, I love that area. But I you know, working at Ruth Chris Steakhouse was good when I was going to culinary school, which is on Peachtree, and been able to get there real close and, you know, get to work and stuff and hone my skills and grind and learn and gain knowledge and you know, excel in what I wanted to do was real good for me. And I got a chance to do that, so worked another job, Tom Tom's. That was a great place, great local cuisine, great seafood, all kinds of steaks and stuff. Got a chance to learn a lot and grow as a person. And so yes, culinary has been my life for years, and I still do it. You know, still do my thing.
So do you work at one specific place?
Actually, I have two places. So I'm a chef at Erlang Hospital. I've been at Erlang Hospital quite some time. I'm one of the 5 chefs on the wall. I got a great executive chef, Chef Thorne. He's a great chef, and have been there for quite some time. He's from California. Chef Thorne is a good chef. We have great people underneath us, sous chefs. Chef Frankie is there, great person. Chef Bruce from Texas. They kind of partnered up. They've known each other for quite some time. Got myself, Andrew, you know, and then the whole support staff of people, you know, that Chef Tyler, and just the whole support staff that we have there at Erlang Hospital. I'm also a chef at Blue Orleans Restaurant, Main and Market as well. And that's been very, very good for me too as well. That's also one of my partners too. Blue Orleans is good too.
So how do you schedule all your cycling with chef? Do you just try to say, hey, I can't work that weekend or that day or that week I'm going to be cycling?
Right. I mean, that's pretty much what I do. I schedule it where it works for me, and they have no problem with that at all.
No problem.
No problem with that. You know, they support me in what I like to do, and you know, it's been real good.
But you're known as a celebrity chef.
Right. And I got a chance to cook for a lot of entertainers through the years, and still do. People still contact me on a every week basis. I may get a phone call 1 week, may get none the next 2 weeks, but then I get contact on to come do something or give an event or perform an action.
Do you have to
perform
take
an-
stuff to there to cook, or do they have that?
Right. So in your contract, we can have it set up where me and the client decide on what we want to do, what's best for both of us. And of course, that me and the client, how it works for them. But it's got to be able to work for me too as well. So usually they got places where, or we can rent a place they can set up where we can do a function, catering, bring stuff there, definitely bring the food. Either I cook it there or cook it ahead and just bring it to a place and just have it warmed up. But, it's got to be, it's got to be planned out, in the contract and discuss and strategize, and it works good.
Seems like that'd be a lot of chaos.
Yeah, it's a lot of planning. It's a lot of planning. It can be a lot of chaos. I'm thankful for the many years I've been a chef and having been around great people, have learned from great people. I'm very fortunate. Having been in a lot of different restaurants, even 1885, Outawa, the whole 1885 group, I speak of, which has different various restaurants. Still connect with these guys, still communicate. But yes, it can be confusing. But I'm thankful to be a chef. Have been in it for so long. And
So that's your main thing is being a chef.
That's one of my main things.
Cycling's your hobby.
That's my profession too. And as I go higher and higher in it, even at where I am now, I still feel good. I got many years underneath my belt. I want to keep on going at it, and I will. My other hobby, I do have a car collection, and that's also building as well. And that will be bigger as time goes along. It will definitely be broadcast on the internet, as I got people working on stuff with me right now. It's pretty much going to be like Chef Reg's Life of Cars. Many celebrities have cars.
Yeah.
Many entertainers have cars. Jay Leno has.
Jay Leno, yeah.
Way more than me. Way more than many. Jerry Seinfeld has many more than me, of course, most definitely. But Jerry Seinfeld has more quality. He's got a lot of Porsches though, and that's his deal. He's got a lot. So,
Boy, this.
Jerry Seinfeld was the guy. He's got them high quality Porsches.
Him and Jay Leno are friends, I think.
Oh yeah, they friends. But Reggie Jackson.
If you were at home by yourself, nothing going on, what would you cook for yourself to eat?
A nice steak.
Ribeye or what?
A ribeye. I love steak. I love ribeye.
Cook it well done or what?
Medium well.
What would you put on
No, excuse me. I don't know why I said medium well. Man, I need to. Man, it's good. Hey, this is a great Sunday. Man, I'm glad to be here in this celebration here today. I would cook it medium, I'm going to cook it over to medium rare, and then it's going to raise up because it's still going to be cooking. So.
What will you put on it? Anything?
I oil it up, the basic salt and pepper. Kosher salt and pepper, that's it. That's all you need. All the other things that people want to do, these little tricks and stuff they want to do, you don't have to do all that.
Any onions or nothing?
No, listen, I'm not roasting my steak. Yeah. I'm not eating a roast steak.
What do you eat with it?
Mashed potatoes. That's traditional. Men like what they like.
Mashed potatoes.
They
not more than baked.
I eat a baked potato every once in a while.
But if you had a choice, it'd be mashed
I eat
potatoes.
mashed potatoes. Make sure it's got a lot of butter in it.
Real butter?
I'm just real butter.
Leave
Exactly. Say it again. Real butter.
You
Real
leave the
butter.
skins on?
I can if I want to. I like the skin as long as I start preparation. As long as my preparation is right. And for those that's listening, they need to understand. Make sure you wash your potatoes off. Make sure you always wash your vegetables because that's important. So I'm gonna wash my potatoes real good and scam, what they say, and you know, and then that'd be mashed within that cream and butter and all that. It'd be good.
So you put the butter in it when you mash them, not like on the table and put butter on it.
No, I put my butter in.
Oh.
You know, I mean, you actually could have nice mashed potatoes and just straight butter and not even no cream. As long as you got the mixture right, just add just a little bit of H2O, a little water, and just mix it right with that good old butter. It'd be good.
What about pimento cheese? You ever make that?
I love pimento cheese.
How do you make yours?
Pimento cheese is great. Pimento cheese, I love pimento cheese.
Do you make it homemade?
Yeah, homemade.
Velveeta?
Yeah, all that. The great, and you cannot leave out Velveeta.
You can't leave it out.
You know, you can't leave
It's
it out.
the best, isn't it?
It is the best. You know, just like cheesecake, but.
Some people put the juice from the pimentos in it, and I don't like that. I like it just the pimentos and Velveeta and hot pimento cheese.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hot pimento cheese.
And
yeah.
sometimes I'm okay just on crackers.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely, most definitely. I mean, I love Velveeta cheese. I love pimento cheese itself. Double eggs, stuff like that. You know, I'm a Southern guy. So a lot of those dishes, I'm glad we speak on that. I'll be presenting a lot of that stuff in my book. 'Cause I'm writing a book as well.
What's going to be the name of
The
it?
name is going to be the Southern Green Bean.
The Southern Green Bean.
Southern Green Bean. The green bean is going to be the main topic line there. And
Why the green bean?
the reason why I say that, I love green beans. I love the color, and I done a couple of dishes that had green beans as side dishes. You know, they look good. The sauteed, the onions, the scallions.
What kind
like
of
that.
green beans?
Haricot vert, French cut green beans, not the frozen type, of course. You know, they got to be, of course, I want them to be fresh. I don't want them to be overcooked. They got to be seasoned the day before. You know, I always encourage people to marinate and season, of course. And those that know, it's important to season your meat, season your vegetables, season your products, and marinate. My whole thing is a word that I developed myself called marination. And that's an important word that I know that I overemphasize with people. Marination is important. You know, just like you want vegetables to be marinated. That's I'm all about that myself. Marination, you know.
How about just regular bread? You ever heard about them putting this folic acid in the bread and all that?
I don't want all that. Hey, I like my Texas toast. I love Texas toast.
But you know, we don't even have colonial bread like we used to.
You sure don't?
I don't know what happened to it. Do you?
I don't need it. I want it myself. I asked my friends.
I mean, what happened to colonial
I
bread?
don't know. I know when I was a kid, I used to go down to over there on 3rd Street.
Colonial.
And you know, on 3rd Street, you would go past, it was,
Oh, I know. You got the.
third?
Yeah, and they had that.
And that red food store there.
Yeah.
On the backside was that Colonial Bacon. And what red food store was, and Colonial was there, they baked that bread.
Yeah.
And when you go driving down to the area, you can smell the bread in the air.
And nowadays, it's got
can't
this
smell it.
Wonder Bread, and it's got a little sweet smell or something.
The Wonder Bread. Wonder Bread used to be the thing. But it
Just don't taste the same.
It don't taste the same.
What's the difference?
The difference is exactly what you said. First and foremost, one, it don't taste the same. And now they're using different products to save cost cutting, to save money, versus spending money into putting out high quality products.
Well, why would you get rid of colonial bread? I mean, that was.
I don't know. I know when I remember when you would go down the road. I'm sure you remember too when you go down there by 3rd Street and you would smell that bread in the air. It is what it is.
Did you ever eat hot dogs with regular light bread?
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Griffin's. I like Griffin's hot dogs too as well.
Griffin's.
They're gone too as well. They're not what it used to be anymore. A lot of things changed. You know, a lot of things changed. A lot of people going through a lot of.
You think there's a
right
difference now between what used to be considered food and what is now considered food?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just something's different about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly what I'm even talking about. I'm just saying that things, even Pringles don't taste the same to me.
Right.
They got a Crisco taste or something.
Right. Pringles don't taste the same.
Even a Coke's got that high fructose. I can taste
High
it.
fructose corn syrup.
I can taste it.
Yeah, it's in everything. That's why you go to Whole Foods and spend more money, or
If you was to buy food that was not changed, you couldn't afford it.
If you was to buy food, to answer your question, if you was to buy food that that was still the same, I can afford it. That would be for me and everyone else a lot, because food back then was more quality, without a lot of chemicals and a lot of additives. You know, additives are important to be able to,
Preserve.
preserve food.
But have you ever looked
but
at the back of a
expensive.
box of cereal?
Right.
It's unbelievable
Right.
what's in that.
Right. So, going back to what you said, you couldn't be able to afford a lot of that because of the expense. You know, when you go to Whole Foods, you got better. You got, and I'm not promoting them, of course, not by no means, but when you go to Whole Foods, the Fresh Market, different places like that, or you deal with products that are more fresher and more organic things, you're gonna spend more money, and it's high. You know, a lot of that stuff is hard to keep in balance now.
Wonder what I went by the grocery store the other day, and I was just a little hungry, and I grabbed some of those oatmeal raisin cookies that they had made in the deli. They weren't even any good. I mean, it tasted like they had something on it. It wasn't like you used to remember an oatmeal raisin cookie.
Right. You know, honestly, quality in itself is a very, very key word in food. And what's happening now in society with expense of food, expense of life and living, wages, as far as also, of course, increase, and of course, rent and inflation and things, it's caused a lot of issues across the board. Even restaurants are closing. And it's hard for the person to even function each and every day, run the restaurant, run the, dealing with food. Even my friends at Food Works are closing. So, and I say that because it's effective. It's touching. My hat goes off to many of those in life today, each and every day, that deal in the food industry, that are working in the food industry, whether it be waitresses, cooks, or anyone in the back of the house, or even in the front of the house. You know, it's not an easy job.
The profit margins like that, isn't it?
The profit margin is very slim. And to be able to run a restaurant is very, very difficult. You know, so, my thing is, it's pretty tough.
Do you think that if you was to go out and even buy peanut butter today, it just doesn't taste to me like it used to taste?
No, I'm a Jiffy guy.
Did it have less sugar in it? I know Peter Pan seems to taste like dessert or something.
Right. Honestly, the better peanut butters are the organic ones. I'm sorry, not organic. The better peanut butters are the ones with not all the preservatives in it.
Yeah.
And, I know it does not look, and I'm saying this, and I hope the kids are listening, or the parents, I'm sure, listen to this. If they are, make sure that this message is brought to the kids. I know you're used to that nice, smooth peanut butter, but trust me, it's not the best. The peanut butter that got that oil on top of it, and it's got the mix.
Yeah.
That's actually great. That's actually good peanut butter. See, but that's what you want. You want that real good peanut butter.
So the good peanut butter is one that's got a little bit of that oil on top.
Yes.
Because it's more real.
It's more real. And then now, when you want to go back, when you want to add your strawberry jam and all that kind of good old stuff to it, and whatever your desired flavor is, you make sure you got the good quality, real jam and strawberry preserves and stuff. Not the
Of course,
high
person,
fructose corn syrup, man.
if you was to get a beef cow from somebody and put it in your freezer, and go to the farmer's market and get potatoes and lettuce and tomatoes, unless you were real picky, you could live off that just fine. You'd feel fine. But this other stuff is just, I don't know. I think it's killing us.
Right, it is. There's too many additives.
And here's another thing I've noticed.
Insecticides.
When these dollar stores, if you go in and buy something in it, it's almost a trick.
Right.
I bought some Q-tips the other day. You know how you get the Q-tips and clean your ears?
Right.
Well, they weren't even stiff enough to clean.
Right.
It was a trick.
Right.
It was a circus act.
Right.
It was like walking up and throwing that ball in the hoop and you can't hit it.
Right.
It's a trick.
Right. And you're right. Exactly.
In the boxes, they look the same, but you turn them sideways and they're that thin.
Right. And
It's like 2 bowls of cereal.
Right. And I'm glad you mentioned that. So here's what I come up with to answer that. To me, it's about quality, not quantity, and not about being cheap. Okay. I understand that we all are on a budget. I am. You are. The producers are.
Yeah.
Everybody's on a budget. The people that get houses built, the fire departments that operate, police station, people that build cars, do a lot of operations. However you operate your business. Or even your family, your home. Living each and every day to day with families. We have to live. We have to be able to function. But please be advised that there's a difference between quality and non-quality. And if you want cheap, you're gonna get the outcome of that.
You can't even use it usually.
You can't use it. I mean, I'm not saying that I got to buy everything expensive. I'm not saying that expensive is always the best. There's a fine line between the cheap and the expensive. The middle areas are when you deal with people that, hey, give me a good deal. Hey, guess what? They give you a good deal. Hey, they got a good quality leather bag. We're not going to sell it to you for the most expensive price, but we got a mark off. We just want to get rid. Okay, that's when you get a good deal. Or you get tires that's good quality, made by the same company, you get a good discount or something. But, or suits or home. But when you get cheap stuff, cheap stuff shows. And it is what it is.
Do you think that if you had to have your cabinet with what people used to call staples, like Staples food, like
staple goods.
What would you consider Staples goods? Salt,
rice,
pepper, rice,
salt, pepper,
beans,
rice, beans,
oatmeal,
good peanut butter, but definitely those things such as rice,
things
beans,
that
oatmeal.
A staple would be something
staple good.
that lasts forever without anything.
Right, something that'll last without having to worry about it going bad, like your rice and your macaroni and stuff on the shelf, and your beans in a can, the good beans that is, or
sugar and flour,
things like that you need, that you can just go to the kitchen and mix up with just a little additive, maybe some, milk and eggs, make you some biscuits or something, things like that. Some people don't know how to use staple goods anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Staple goods would just about get you through with some fresh vegetables.
Right. The new generation, this generation don't know about the staple
They
goods.
didn't even know the name staples.
They said staple. Hey, they get that. I'm serious. They get it confused with the actual business called Staples.
Staples, right.
Not staple goods. Yeah, we talking about preservatives. We talking about actually living.
Because those things we mentioned, all you got to do is keep the bugs out.
Right.
They're not going to go bad.
Right. So yeah.
And you can live off that.
Right.
Beans will stay good forever.
Right. They will. It's something that you want to.
Of course, we didn't mention butter, but that's not something that's a luxury. But,
real butter.
But if you eat a meal
margarine
with those things we just mentioned, you won't eat as much. You'll feel full before you get full. I mean, you'll feel full before you want more. But if you buy that stuff it's almost like it's fake.
Right, exactly. And I mean, you feel the difference. So, here's where you know that you are changing and you're feeling different. When you worked out and you exercised and you've done different things for so long, you feel your legs, your body, your upper body and everything begin to feel different. And then you don't have that urgent for that sugar and all that other stuff so much. You want the more quality. After 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month and a half, you begin to get some other urges and desires. When you are that month and a half, 2 months, and you in the gym, you working out your legs and all that kind of stuff, and you eating right, eating good, a good balanced diet, you begin to see the differences, and the less cravings for the sugar. You look at a bag, okay, you look at that candy that's in the store, be like, man, listen, nah, I don't want that. That sugar, you know, that you get them real, tasty strawberry candies and stuff, you will lose that desire. So when you begin to go higher up in the nutrition end and doing things better, then you should lose that desire for the fake stuff.
Like
Going
for
back to what you said,
like
fake
for
stuff.
Oreos and stuff.
Oreos. It's okay every once in a while. Okay. I mean, if you got a taste and you want an Oreo, eat one. Okay. Eat a little bit of ice cream, but don't make it a habit. The problem is we make it a habit, and we don't advance in our daily dietary needs. And I mean dietary needs because our dietary needs should be that of health and quality.
You know, if I go even to Subways and just get a sandwich and a bag of potato chips, I almost feel sick after eating that. I don't even think that's real.
You probably, a good quality
Something's
is
off.
when you go to Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's has got more of a quality.
Is it better?
Better quality, And I mean, I'm not knocking them, I mean, I even said myself, quality varies, on the right and the left and the right, So I thought, hey, it's always the best, And they're good for what they do. Jimmy John's is good for what they do. It's teachers on. But, I guess I was kind of more or less into the look and the glamour of how Subway looks and, you sell it. But, you might not see that all the time, maybe at one of the downtown Jimmy John's or whatever, but the quality of the meat is better. So when you look at the quality of the meat and that protein, that's key.
It'll fill you up more.
It'll fill you up
Remember
more.
that place in Chattanooga? I forget where it was located. It was, I think it was on maybe Market Street, down past those apartments, the housing project there. There was a convenience store on the right, and they would sell bologna sandwiches with lettuce and tomato and mustard or mayonnaise, a bag of chips and a Coke and regular bread, and they couldn't sell them quick enough. You remember the place? What was the name of that place?
I can't remember the place, but I've heard them selling that.
But it was all good stuff. So I always wonder if a person was just broke and they had no other options, they could just start making sandwiches in their house and hand them out the front door. They'd make a living at it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you couldn't pay all these taxes and all these rules and stuff, but you could sneak by.
Right. So, again, that gets back to, everybody that when they eat and when they do their daily activities and how they buy food and things that they, things that they have to get to feed their family, may necessarily always be able to afford the best quality. Okay, you can eat a bologna sandwich. Sometimes and I'm telling you this as a chef, sometimes you just want a bologna sandwich.
Oh yeah, I do.
Good.
A lot of times, especially that thick bologna.
Right. It quenches that desire for just something. Mayonnaise. For me, mayonnaise, bologna. That's it.
I like
and
mustard.
And mustard too, of course, and also if you kind of burn it just a little bit.
Oh,
you get
just a hair, just a
little
hair.
bit.
Yeah.
It's something about the bologna sandwich, the way it tastes. Sometimes, but now you can't. But it's not the best quality. But guess what? It's good for right there. Now, everybody can't always afford to buy the expensive stuff and always eat. Sometimes you don't want to just go through and make a gourmet meal every day. You just want a bologna
Sure,
sandwich. You want a
pimento cheese sandwich.
Right. So to each his own.
Good hot dog.
Right, good hot dog. Now hot dogs, you always want to get the best hot dog.
You own that. You want to be careful.
Yeah, you want to be careful on that. So it's always, so I think it's always in moderation that we do certain things and how we do it.
You ever make vegetable soup?
Vegetable soup all the time. I make soups every day. I make soups every day, all the time.
You put carrots in your vegetable soup?
Yeah, most definitely. But certain recipes call for certain things. So yeah, basic vegetable soup would be definitely carrots, celery, onions. You know, you got to start with base. You know, you want to be able to, you know, you add tomatoes and all the kind of things.
What about just pinto beans?
Pinto beans? Got to be dry beans. Got to let them soak.
How long?
And then when you let them soak, at least 5-6 hours, let them soak. I pour the water off of them, and then let them soak again. And once those beans have gotten soft and start to release, they start getting soft. And then you can cook them. They'll cook a lot better, you know. But and it's important also keep this in mind. You want to wash those beans good too as well.
What do you put in your beans?
Man, my beans, I put turkey meat in my beans. You know, for those because I know some people may not want to partake of ham. Some people will not want the ham.
Can you taste the difference? Beans cooked in ham, beans cooked in turkey?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Which tastes better?
Which tastes better is the beans cooked in ham versus the turkey. Turkey is always important. Turkey is healthier, and I tell people all the time. You know, just like I talked about talk about marination. It's important that you marinate your food always, and with turkey, just like chicken. Chicken tastes better than turkey, but turkey is healthier.
Yeah.
But turkey needs help, and when I say that is, you got to be able to marinate it. You got to give it some love. You got to give it something. You got to give it something.
Because turkey's kind of bland.
Yeah, it's kind of bland. So you got to do something to turkey to make it what it is. You know, to be able to get it to where people want to be able to eat it. That's why think about when you go to the store and you get those turkey slices in those packs. They got seeds and all that kind of stuff around. That's because they know how turkey is. But trust me, a good turkey sandwich is good when it's been seasoned. That turkey's been seasoned well.
It's got to have something.
Right.
Mustard,
so
something.
Turkey is better for you health-wise. Chicken just tastes better. Hey, I like Popeyes. I like the fried chicken and stuff. Who don't like fried chicken? But turkey needs is health. So it's always about health and quality and doing something to your food to bring it to what it is.
They say that you're supposed to experience different foods so your taste buds. In other words, if I eat different foods, my body will tell me what I'm needing for it today or at that minute. And what I'm craving is probably what my body's needing. So if I'm craving Oreo cookies, there's something in there that my body's needing. Or if I'm craving turkey or beef or a potato or salt. A lot of times, the other night I was craving salt so bad, I just ate a half a jar of olives.
Oh,
That's all I had for supper is a half a jar of olives. Boy, it was good too.
Boy. Oh, you can get that bacon. You like bacon?
I love bacon.
I like bacon. Bacon's good.
Yeah.
A good BLT is always good.
Always good.
Always good. BLT's
I'm a little leery of eating mayonnaise away from my house because it can go bad so quick and you can get deathly sick.
Yeah, you're right about that. What kind of mayonnaise do you like to eat?
Dukes.
Oh.
You gotta have Dukes.
I'm glad you said that.
You gotta have Dukes.
I was waiting to say, hey, how about Dukes?
No, you got it. Everybody knows. Everybody that likes homegrown tomatoes knows
Dukes.
Salt, pepper, and Dukes.
Dukes is that mayonnaise.
Oh, it's mayonnaise. It's real
Dukes
mayonnaise.
is that mayonnaise.
Yeah, salt and homegrown tomatoes. They always come out around July the 4th.
Right.
And I eat for the whole month of July. I'll just eat homegrown tomatoes, saltine crackers, Duke's mayonnaise, and that's it. I'll just have a plate of tomatoes.
Right. Most definitely.
Sometimes some Velveeta cheese.
I agree with that.
But sometimes I've got to just have a manwich.
Oh yeah.
I love manwich.
Oh yeah, manwich is good too. Man, that is actually good. I got a good picture of that in my mind right now.
How about oatmeal? What do you do with it?
I love oatmeal. I love steel cut oatmeal.
Yeah, I don't like the rolled oats. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Well, the thing is that rolled oats and steel cut, and it's just how they cut it. And one also, it takes longer to process, longer to cook. It's a taste variance.
Well, see,
One's going to taste more
grainy?
More grainy, of course.
Well, to me, the road doesn't soak as much water up. And I eat oats for the hydration.
Yeah. As far as oats wise, roll oats, and steel cut, the roll oats will cook faster. The steel cut's gonna take longer. So, with that being said, it just, like I said, just tastes. It just depends on your taste buds.
What about fried eggs?
I love fried eggs.
How would you? I mean, there's thousands of ways to cook eggs, right?
Right, most of that. There's a book out there called The Egg, and it all talks about just eggs and a person's love for eggs. And
I was at
mine's a fried egg.
Well, I went to Nantahala here several years back and stayed at this real nice bed and breakfast. Sort of a bed and breakfast, but they had a chef and so I walked up and he said, I said, I'll have eggs. And he said, how do you want them? And I said, it doesn't matter. And he said, how about if I shipwreck them? And I said,
that's right.
Okay, shipwreck them. And so what he did was fried them, both sides, and then cut them up and then fried them again. That was shipwrecked.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Well, me, I like mine medium. I like some yolk in it.
Sunny side up?
No, I like mine to be fried and flip one time and cook it for a certain amount of time, probably about a minute, and it'd be medium, minute and a half, so it can be medium. But you got to cook it. It also has to deal with the heat. You got to have the heat down at a certain temperature.
Are you a 3-egg guy or 2 eggs?
I'm a 2 and 3 egg guy. Sometimes I go, I go to one of my favorite breakfast spots downtown.
Where's that at?
Actually, one of my favorite breakfast spots downtown is Broad Street Grill.
How about
I'm sorry. It's Bluegrass Grill. I'm sorry, Bluegrass Grill.
How about the
Bluegrass
what's
Grill.
that? Chestnut Street biscuits, or what's the name of that?
Oh, you talking about I know exactly what you're talking about.
Boy, they're good. Yeah. I mean, it's
Maple
Street biscuits.
Maple Street biscuits.
Yeah, and it's on Chestnut Street.
Right.
Boy, they've got something going on there.
Maple Street biscuits actually on Broad Street.
Boy, you get that. Is it Chestnut and Broad?
No, it's
where'd I get Chestnut?
It's Broad and 4th.
But you get one of those and a good stiff Coke.
Right. Oh yeah.
That's hard to beat.
And it's also one of the Helm places too.
I've never eaten at that one.
Yeah, right by Walmart.
I wonder, they make everything fresh there, evidently.
They do.
When you started cooking, where did you grow up in Chattanooga?
I did.
Was your grandmother a cook?
Yeah, she was. She was a chef, excellent chef.
Where did she chef at?
She chefed at Marriott. Years ago when she first started, she worked at different diners. She worked at the Longhorn across the river. When you go across Market Street Bridge, you had the famous Longhorn there.
Yeah, close to Nikki's?
No, actually, when you go across the Market Street Bridge, you go straight across at the light, and the famous Longhorn was there on the left.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of adjacent to the Town and Country.
Yeah.
Used to be owned by Mr.
Okay,
Hall,
yeah.
Mr. Hall.
Yeah. My
grandma was there for years. She worked at different little mom and pop joints. She was at the Marriott. And my mom was, my grandma was a chef. She worked at those places. And she was a great chef. She was a great chef, and she was also a great pastry chef too. My grandma could cook hot food, and she could get in the kitchen and do baking as well.
How about your mother?
My mom cooked as well, but my mom wasn't as good as a cook as my grandmama.
Your grandmother cooked green beans?
All kinds. She cooked everything.
Did she ever peel green beans?
Yeah. I mean, grandmama. My grandma was old school.
Breaking beans.
Breaking beans. She dealt with peas. She dealt with snow peas. She dealt with anything that had to do with the traditional what we came up with eating. not just in the area of staple goods, meat, proteins, chicken, all kinds of Italian dishes she could cook.
She cooked Italian too.
Man, my grandma was that person.
Where'd she learn to cook, reckon?
She just picked it up through the years. Like
What was her maiden name?
Violet Willis. Violet. Her maiden name was actually it was Violet Osby. But my grandmom got married, and
What was so her maiden name was what?
Violet Osby.
Osby?
Yeah, but she.
Where'd she grow up?
She grew up in Virginia. And
How'd she get here?
Then she came to Chattanooga. She came to Chattanooga.
How come?
She came to Chattanooga Chattanooga was a place where she came to. And she
At an early age, I guess?
At an early age, young age.
Yeah.
And then she met my granddad. And
What'd he do?
my granddad was a smart individual, well-read. He was a shipping supervisor at the famous Duff Brothers. I'm sure you probably remember Duff Brothers Pharmaceutical Wholesale on Holly Street. You remember that?
No.
Duff Brothers was ran by the Duffs.
Well, they were here when they had
Lookout Mountain.
I guess they were here when the trolley was still going.
Oh yeah, through those years.
Chattanooga was a booming place, a booming place then.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
booming more
Yeah.
then in proportion to now.
Oh yeah, most definitely. On my Instagram, it mentions I started out on my Instagram where you can reach me at Chef Reginald 423, where you can find a lot of my chef photos and videos and tutorials and things like that. You find in the profile it said I started off in the kitchen with my grandma. That's my chef profile. That's the one. That's Chef Reginald 423, and that's. Like I said, I mentioned my grandma right there. And then, of course, my cycling page, all one word, Chef, Chef, REGCYCLING, Chef Red Cycle, all one word. You can find all my chef. You can find all my cycling, a lot of my cycling tutorials and stuff like that.
You know what I noticed about the old cooks versus new cooks, and I don't know if I'm right or not, but it seems like the old cooks, they didn't have to have a whole lot of equipment. They could cook more with less equipment than now they have to have all this special stuff.
That's right. You're right about that. You are right.
I mean, why is it that we have to have so much stuff and they could do it all with that?
Because they just knew how to innovate without all the equipment. And I know innovation is all about different things, technology and equipment, things like that. But they know how to think. See, thinking is also a part of the game. It's just not about just living. It's a part of the game, too. You got to be able to function when it's not a game, and you got to be able to function when it is. Meaning that everyday life, each and every day, you got to be able to have a way of thinking in your mind to be able to break things down and make them work. Now, that's everyday functioning. Now, if you're dealing with game, like basketball, strategizing, cycling, dealing with different things, entertainment.
Even work?
Yeah, the game of how you deal with things, to make money, to deal with people and stuff. Not saying you're trying to game or get over someone, but I'm saying the game of how, it's a game of how you be able to make things work and dealing with people. That's what they mean, like the game stuff. But everyday functioning, everyday working with you and what you're doing, you got to be able to think. So thinking every day, being able to do it, and also dealing with the game of life, the same. So it all goes back to being able to think. In the kitchen, when they were able to deal with the kitchen and make things work without having to use a lot of technology, I'm going back to your question.
And
they could do and pull things off because they knew how to think. They knew how to think.
that's extremely interesting.
They knew how to think.
So what you're saying is, if I'm saying, and I haven't ever thought about that. So the modern maybe person would
cook,
need all
chef.
this stuff to
Right.
cook a meal.
Right.
Back then, when they had nothing, they were just trying to survive. They had to know how to think and think quick, and they were able to make a meal with very few ingredients and utensils.
Right. Right.
So if that person back then had to deal with what the people would do today, that person back then would just wear this new person out.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Because they had to think.
Right.
It wasn't that they wanted to.
Right.
They had to.
Right. And it also, just like now you have all these machines and stuff that make your job easier. Back then, they had themselves and knives and cutting. So knowing how to use those devices back then versus now were always important.
And
That's
what to cook first.
Right,
I'll cook this first because I need to cook that in this.
Right, what to cook first, and also how to, back then you need to know how to break down chickens. You need to know how to break down proteins of all types. And
Use part of the whole pig.
Right. And now you got these young chefs and what they mean is when they say, oh, this chef, he's green behind the ears, or he's green, or he's wet behind the ears, meaning that he don't got the experience. These guys have been in this stuff for years, I've been in it for years.
I'd say an army cook is pretty close to having to do what he's got to do. Probably a wagon train cook.
Right.
Have you ever seen that guy on YouTube, that wagon cook?
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but boy, he makes me hungry every time I watch it.
Yeah, most definitely. Or someone that's cooking on a dinner in the diner.
Yeah.
On the diner.
Yeah.
I was a chef at the dinner in the diner at the Choo Choo Hotel years ago. And you got a small space to cook with, and you have a large train, a lot of seats to be able to deal with a lot
I
of people.
remember that one.
Yeah.
It was silver, wasn't it? Or something like that?
It was. The dinner in the diner. So
It was a neat place, wasn't it?
Yeah, you got to be able to adjust to different things. When you got those maybe you need to cook for, you got to be able to, you need to be able to cook up enough stuff. Not saying you got to cook all your pancakes up ahead of time, but you want to think about this stuff. Cook some things up a little bit where you can have something that you can work with and not get so blasted. Now, maybe everybody that's coming in may not want to stay.
And a grandmother from Virginia coming to Chattanooga with 4 or 5 kids, she don't have time to think about it other than just getting it done, right?
Right. Exactly. And that's how it is. My mom wasn't as good as my grandmother as far as cooking. In her own right, she had her own quality. She's got her own quality. So, and I know now to this day, where we are now, and my mom's still living. We've had our ups and downs, but I'm gonna tell you, she's blessed. I'm blessed. I'm very appreciative. My mom sees things on a different light now. She definitely sees things in a different light. And but my mom, she's just real strong in the mind. And when you got people that's setting their mind, they strong. Man, sometimes you think they gonna last forever. I mean, I got people that I've known for years, and I'm like, these people still around. I don't ever want to see them ever leave. My great friends. I'm glad to have great friends in my life, great family. I got 2 godfathers. I'm glad to have them. Mr. Chitwood, Mr. Bobby, that owns the auto shop. I'm glad to have these people in my life. So I'm my family, I'm blessed. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm very, very glad to say this. I'm very glad to be at this table today in this spot celebrating 200 episodes.
200 episodes.
200 episodes with you guys today. And my question, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
How do you feel about today? Because it's number 200. I'm glad
I'm glad I'm still here, and I would have never dreamed that I would still be here. And I wouldn't have dreamed that we're getting, last week, 35,000 views on various podcasts.
Right.
And I don't know if it's ever going to go. This is not my main job. It's not even my hobby. It's my pastime on Sunday afternoon.
Right.
Hey, last time you was here, C. Grimey was here.
That's right.
How's he doing?
Man, he wanted to tell me, look, he told me to tell you hi.
Tell him I said
talked
hey.
to him yesterday.
Yeah.
And C. Grimey, yes, he's doing very, very good.
Well, he's cool, isn't he?
C. Grimey's cool. Everybody can always, they can always connect with C. Grimey. Cameron Williams.
Cameron Williams.
Cameron Williams, a.k.a. C. Grammy,
Yeah.
entertainer. Just like they can always follow me.
Yeah.
You can find me on social media everywhere. Reginald Dwight on my regular Facebook page, or Chef Reginald Dwight on my fan pages, and of course Instagrams too. You can find me. I'm available.
How old is C. Grammy?
Man,
Well,
you know what?
I can't pinpoint how old he is.
You know what? C. Grammy.
And he could be 50 and he could be 25. I don't know.
C. Grammy, he's past 30, but he's younger than me. He's younger than me, but he's in his. I would say between 35 and 40.
He's opinionated, isn't he?
Oh yeah, C. Grammy's very knowledgeable. He's seen a lot of people. He's seen a lot of people. He's dealt with a lot of people. He's very good at social media, very good at music.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah, C. Grammy's the one that you see in the social media on TV. You see him a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy that I know him.
Yeah.
And he's a PR person and also assistant PR person to me, because I got some other people too as well that assist me in what I'm doing. My 3 different areas that I deal with: chef work, pro chef work, pro cycling, and of course my car collection and Chef Reginald Life of Cars. Those things are building up. Always growing in the area of Chef Reginald Dwight and my adventures and what I like to do. My super cycling team, Greensboro, South Carolina, myself, cycle racing and stuff, and also my car collection as well. What's that?
Reginald, it's always good to talk to you, buddy.
And it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be here. I mean, listen, this is a great day, and I can't emphasize it the most. I feel blessed to be a part of your organization, to be here. And it's not by chance that I even say this. I really mean that from the top of my heart. I'm glad that you gave me the opportunity to be on your show and share my thoughts and where I am in life and what I'm doing, and how I like to be able to, touch people and be a part of what you're doing as well.
And we're going to come back and do it again. Next time you come out, we're going to ride before we come in.
Oh, yeah.
And I would have today, but I've just had so much on me.
Right.
But if I can get in shape enough, can you ever go on rides that's just 17 miles?
Yeah.
17 miles?
Oh, yeah. You need to ride this race with me. But, 17 miles.
I mean like 30 miles for 17 average.
Yeah,
that's okay?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
You wouldn't be waiting long?
No, I wouldn't be waiting long. No, I wouldn't be waiting long at all. No, I ain't waiting. I'm gonna wait on you. I'm gonna wait on you, of course. It ain't gonna be like that.
Hey, I'm gonna come down to sometime and eat when you're doing a special chef or something.
Yeah, most definitely. You just contact me, let me know. I'll let you know where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm all over. I do a lot of things in different places. I'm also in and out of town too, and I always go to California.
You need to leave me your phone number, because sometimes I don't get Facebook.
Yeah, most definitely.
If I get it, it's just by accident. But I was watching for your reply.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't doing that, I would have never called it.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I mean, we definitely communicate. We'll definitely communicate better. I'm definitely gonna upgrade a lot of things from here on out. Of course, life is always about either you don't want to ever go back. You always want to go up. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's either 3 things actually. Well, it should be 2. Well, actually, it really should be 1. You want to go up always. If you're not going up, you're gonna be where you are and standing still. You don't ever want to go back. So, out of these 3 things, you don't ever want to go back in life. Mm-hmm. And you don't ever want to stay where you are. You always want to be going forward. And for those that are watching or listening, always remember that. You don't ever want to go back. You always want to go forward, but not stay where you are and just stay stagnant.
How come?
The reason is because growth is always important. And believe it or not, honestly, I'm going to say this, even though you may not be ready, they might not be ready, but you might not be ready for the next day, because guess what? You might not be ready for the life but it's not always gonna be dark. The next day is coming. The next day is coming. And the same thing with yourself in life. If you are constantly looking back behind you, you can't go forward. You want to be able to go forward. And, just take an evaluation in your life. If you standing still and whatever you're doing or whatever, and you're not going forward, let's go forward. Let's go forward in life. Let's go forward in 2024. From this day forward.
None of it's good, but that's the better part, to try to go forward.
Mm-hmm. Let's go forward.
Maybe the reason to go forward is because going backwards worse.
Yeah. Well, to each his own. Sometimes, depending on the person's life and situation, sometimes difficult things cause them to not go forward. Sometimes they're timid, scared, life situations, family, jobs, things like that. I always encourage people, and this comes from me as a chef, me as a cyclist, me as a person that's into cars. I don't just stick with one thing. I got a diversity of things. So I like to keep it fresh, and I want everybody to hear this. I want people to really hear this. Keep it fresh. Keep it exciting. If you want to be encouraged, sometimes the next person may not be able to encourage you. You might not feel, or you might not find encouragement from your next door neighbor, your family member, or whomever. You might just have to be able to encourage yourself. Sometimes, you can be where you are in life. You can change your own life by just how you carry yourself, how you get up and say, hey, I want to change my life. Put on some different clothes, feel good about yourself.
Wash your face, shave.
Wash your face, stick your head up and feel good about yourself. Because, there's a lot of people discouraged today in life. There's a lot of people going through a lot of things. Job loss, family divorce.
Somebody mad at them.
Someone mad at them on the job.
Screwed something up.
Someone screwed something up. Someone lost something.
No problem.
Someone got discouraged about something. Someone got blamed for something. Someone, somebody went to jail. Someone cheated on them. Someone argued at you this morning, and your honest desire was to get to work and have a good day, but someone yelled at you. Those different things happen. Someone said something to your child or something and teach you off, or, your children's upset because they don't know what mom or dad is, or family issues, or someone had a wreck, or someone had different calamities and things going on. We all going through something in life. My encouragement to each and every one today as a chef, Chef Reginald Dwight, on this show today is that everyone be encouraged, be uplifted, I can always, you can contact me. I'll share some words of advice with you. I'm sure they can contact you. We don't want people to be discouraged or anything, or go through life being a victim of wrong thoughts and bad ideas and things like that. We want people to keep on doing good, stay strong, and keep on moving ahead. So that's my encouragement to those that are going through whatever. From this day forward, 2024, let's have a better year, And like I'm having a great day today, celebrating this 200 episode here at the discussion show, podcast, with yourself, and I'm encouraged to be here today. Glad to be a part.
I love you, man.
I love you too, man. I appreciate you.